This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is a Thursday afternoon. Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, open 7 days a week. Love the delicious Italian cuisine over at Mondello's. First Year Bank right across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Make sure you're talking to them about their annual percentage yields right now on their special CD rates. Lennox Auto Body with the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, you will find Gene and the great staff over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank ×2 on Vanda High, the original location, the east side location of the corner of College and Pershing. The 18s got to go. The 19s are arriving at Kia of Cheyenne, so check out what AJ and Greg Miller and the entire Kia staff has on display for today and what's ready to go home with you at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Thank you to our good friends over at Chick-fil-A. Boy, I'll tell you what, delicious lunch today as I enjoyed their wrap sandwich. Absolutely good. You had the spicy chicken. Sonia had the classic chicken. Bottom line is Chick-fil-A, there's a common theme. Eat more chicken. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange. 3 Squares, breakfast, lunch, and dinner served up Monday through Saturday. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service having a hell of a sale still going on. And you can check out everything over on Highway 30. Right there, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, your home for Jayco, fifth wheels, RVs, travel trailers, and specially priced during this hail of a sale. Taco John's of Cheyenne, where, again, loaded potato olays. We got a Thursday night football game, so you might want to get another 6-pack and a pound for tonight. You can get their 3 for $5 walking tacos. Don't forget, every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday from Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we all start the program out with our scoreboard, which is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We first check in with Nick.
There's definitely better things to do than checking out the Thursday night game tonight. That is the utter just toilet bowl. But anyways, though, at least LCCC in action with women's volleyball. They will get underway again over at Story Gym as it is the Region 9 tournament for volleyball. LCCC did win yesterday 3-2 over Casper College and will move on and take on Northeastern Junior College coming up at 6 o'clock today. NHL action for tonight. We will see the Winnipeg Jets in Florida taking on the Panthers. The Toronto Maple Leafs hosting the Dallas Stars at Scotiabank Arena. New York Islanders at Barclays Center hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. Washington Capitals traveling up to Montreal to take on the Canadiens. Ottawa Sens hosting the Buffalo Sabres at Canadian Tire Center. Detroit Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena taking on the New Jersey Devils. Nashville Predators on the road in Tampa taking on the Lightning. St. Louis Blues hosting the Vegas Golden Knights at Enterprise Center. The Calgary Flames at home at Scotiabank Saddledome taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Chicago Blackhawks, they will be in Edmonton taking on the Oilers. Anaheim Ducks at the Pond hosting the New York Rangers. Philadelphia Flyers traveling to Staples to take on the LA Kings. And last but not least, in SAP Center in San Jose, the San Jose Sharks hosting the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
See, back in July, this would have been a marquee matchup before Khalil Mack got traded, before Jimmy G went down and a host of injuries, and before the Raiders traded Amari Cooper. This could have been a great Thursday night game. But as Nick mentioned, 2 teams combined, 2 wins, 13 losses. It is the garbage dump bowl tonight.
As much as I love the 49ers.
At Levi State. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch the game.
It will. The only significance, or at least only historical thing about this game, it will be the final Battle of the Bay. No. Again, the Oakland Raiders will not be in Oakland.
No, what's going to be the finality of this? Who will get the number 1 draft pick?
That's true, too.
So, with that being said, Thursday Night Football, From the National Football League tonight in Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California, the San Francisco 49ers playing host to the Oakland Raiders.
Beautiful stadium as well, too, if I can say.
Yeah,
Been there.
okay. The stadium's going to be full of
It's not going to be full of anything.
bupkis people tonight, that's for sure. NBA scoreboard. The Thunder will take on the Hornets tonight in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. Hey, the Nuggets looking to move to 7-1 tonight. They got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Are the Nuggets for real? We'll see tonight in the Quicken Loans Arena.
I don't think Cleveland's that test. So.
Well, Cleveland's won one game, so,
Yeah, I don't think
And
that's
they have
a
Larry
test.
Nance Jr.
To ask if the Nuggets are for real, you don't put them in the same conversation with the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are just terrible.
Clippers will match up with the 76ers at the Wells Fargo Center. Kings and the Hawks at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, GA. In the TD Garden tonight, Bucks and the Celtics. Pelicans, after losing to the Warriors last night, they move on to the Moda Center, and they will take on the Portland Trailblazers. Our scoreboard this afternoon brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a two-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83. Come on, you're up.
This is the Pepsi that has mastered the art of the late-night munchies and is always down to dig into some deep dish.
Hey, we don't do deep dish, capiche?
Try telling that to Chicago. This is the Pepsi for po' boys, pulled pork sliders, and the godfather of all sandwiches, the Godfather. This is the Pepsi for street carts, anything a la carte, and is dying to make the leap into your grocery cart. Come on, take us home with you. This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
We welcome you to a Thursday afternoon edition of Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Yet we have another coaches program coming up, our commitment to our good friends over at Laramie County Community College. We will talk with Brian Ortmeier, head coach of the LCCC women's squad, the Lady Golden Eagles, and that'll be followed up by our good friend Jason Ficca joining us on the men's side, as he will be in here at 4:30. We will have Brian Ortmeier in around a little after 4 o'clock.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a commitment that we are more than happy to be a part of, again, with the Cheyenne Stampede as of yesterday. LCCC Coaches Show coming up at least today from the 4 o'clock hour. Again, a commitment that we love, at least having these teams a part of our program, since no one else in town will.
Every Thursday, we will have those coaches in, unless we have a game on the docket.
Which will be, there's one rogue one sometime in January, but other than that, it should be a consistent Thursday afternoon show.
So, again, do join us for that. In our first hour, we will do our football picks. Coming up, we also will have a little bit of chit-chat on stuff. I do want to mention this right out of the box, and you told me that last night and kind of bummed me out. Willie Mack, stretch, died last night, 80 years young for the San Francisco Giants. Willie Mack had been in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he was dealing with health, at least.
Health issues.
Yeah.
And I wrote on my Facebook page today, putting up the article that Willie McCovey had died. And I was talking about it. Matter of fact, my morning partner over there, Sonia, was kind of just listening with everything that I was talking about, because where you and me have had that opportunity to go to games and stuff even when you were little. My dad took me to the old stick. Yeah. And to the new Candlestick. And when I was old enough to go, as a grown-up, out to Candlestick, and I saw Willie McCovey play, for many, many years. Matter of fact, I even saw when he snuck on over to the Coliseum and was dressed in an Oakland A's uniform as well.
For what, 11 games?
Well, you know what? I had a chance to go see him there. Yeah. He was in San Diego with the Padres. Yep. But Willie McCovey, again, as they call him, stretch, just a great athlete, believe it or not, before his knees got bad. Could knock the snot out of a baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Great fielding first baseman. But the thing that I'm always grateful for, I was doing a public affairs program for my college radio station at Chico State, KCHO. And a buddy and I, we were commissioned to do this 30-minute program. And we got so much tape back in the day on free agency. This is at the beginning of free agency. And look where it's at today. And Willie McCovey sat down with me in his little cubicle there at Candlestick Park, and the nicest guy gave me 15 minutes of a great interview. Yeah. And he had that.
Which he's kind of been known as. He had that great ambassador for the Giants, great ambassador for baseball in general.
He had that Alabama accent about him, or I guess that would be the word. I don't want to say drawl, but I remember I'd say something like, Mr. McCovey goes, "No, you call me." He goes, "You call me Willie," and I say, "Willie, what do you think about this free agency situation? Is it good for baseball? Is it bad?" He goes, free agency isn't bad for baseball. I think it's going to help baseball. And I mean, it was just the way he said it. And he had like that high pitch type of voice. Yeah. He was just a wonderful baseball player and part of the Giants family forever and ever and ever. He'll be immortalized.
McCovey Cove, and they have a statue as well too out there by AT&T Park, along with a few other recognizable Giants. But yeah, again, he is not just with the Giants organization, just baseball in general.
Well, you see, and again, Hall of Famer, a well-deserved Hall of Famer. I think in career Grand Slams, he trails like Lou Gehrig. I think Lou of the Yankees in career Grand Slams. The thing is, too.
I mean, his stats are off the charts, but
it's a shame though, too, Nick. And, obviously, you're born in 1990. You didn't get a chance to see this cat play.
I've seen it on reels or at least past, but yeah, nothing in person. And again, my only at least any kind of at least personal or in-person stuff was this past weekend out there in San Francisco when we were in the heart of downtown, being able to step on over to AT&T Park, see the Cove, see that statue as well too, along with AT&T. So, I mean, that's my only notoriety of having some sort of part of that history, but again, as a Giants fan, I know everything about, again, Mays, McCovey, every old-timer, every legend that's been a part of that franchise, yeah, I know pretty well.
And again, things that obviously you never saw your grandfather and my dad. We were Giant fans, and every chance we had, we went to Candlestick and just to watch old Willie play and Willie Mays and Juan Marichal and Gaylord Perry, and seeing all of these great names of Giants passed out there. And again, this is the old Candlestick, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen some of those reels where it wasn't enclosed, and you're watching, mounds of hot dog wrappers out in right field blowing all the time.
It was still, even when it was enclosed, it was still pretty windy, at least the game that I went to go see the 49ers. But I get what you're talking about.
Yeah, but to me, and again, where you're young, it's like a part of my youth just, got ripped away again today. I mean, it just tells me, at 61, one of these days, it's going to be my name, not memorialized like Willie McCovey. I'll be there in the obits in the paper, but it's just made me feel mortal today knowing that Willie Mack had passed away. So anyway, I just wanted to open up the program with that. Great baseball player, great human being, and again, going to be sadly missed by Giant fans. I guess a lot of us older fans that grew up with them.
I think Giant fans and just in general, again, whether it is my kind of generation, again, of the history and what he brought to the table. What he brought to that franchise and what he even did even after he retired from baseball, again, and what he brought to just baseball in general and Giants franchise. I think, again, if you go on social media, whether it is Facebook, Twitter, I think Barry Bonds, who had a close relationship, obviously, with a lot of those legends, but also, too, with Willie Mack, put up a great post of just kind of raw feelings of just how he felt about Willie McCovey, calling him Uncle Willie. So I would recommend, if you could find that from Barry Bonds, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, I think he posted on every social media he could, just put up a great
and he had such a great swing, even though he was a lefty. And my buddy put this that we had played baseball forever together, and we all emulated that swing. It was just a classic swing. It was carefree and just, every time he hit one out of the park, you knew it was gone. So anyway, sad note on the baseball side today. I just thought I'd open up the program with that. All right, we do have a lot of football coming up, and mentioning tomorrow. First off, Class 1A, Pine Bluffs will take on Bighorn, the defending Class 1A champions ×2. Hornets will be at Bighorn, where they got stomped earlier. They got a mud hole stomped on them.
Well, they got stomped at home, so now they got to go on the road for this.
Now they got to take the Rams on at home. Also tomorrow, Thunder Basin will host Sheridan. We will have, I think, the marquee game. It will be Cheyenne East and Casper Natrona, not because we're going to be doing the game. I think it's going to be one of the big games.
It's a true test for East, where again for Cheyenne East. Hey, you beat them here in town, so you can defeat this Mustangs team. Now, was it a fluke of they tripped up on the road, that long road trip down here? We don't know. It's going to be a true gut check kind of time for Cheyenne East to move on to get that state championship game coming up next weekend, but it is a true test. East, again, I think they can match up. I think they can absolutely win this contest. I think a lot is riding on this, especially carrying over from last season where, again, at the same point in time, semifinals for Cheyenne East, they tripped up in Casper against the same Natrona team. It's, again, a lot of emotions on the line in this one. Again, you almost call it a kind of a heated rivalry. Two premier programs in the state of Wyoming getting after it.
Two longtime coaches in Class 4A as well.
That's true, too. So, again, they know each other very well. They know what to expect. It's going to be a fun one coming up. And again, 5:30 pregame here on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com. And again, for the playoffs, unfortunately, due to NFHS rights, we cannot video broadcast these games unless we wanted to pay some extravagant price. So instead, we're just going to do audio like every other radio station in the state. But again, coming up, 6 o'clock kickoff, East Natrona. Winner moves on to the state championship game coming up next Saturday over in Laramie, Wyoming.
Oh, by the way, the kickoff time for that championship game, and hopefully we will be there, Aloha, 4 p.m.
Not to get ahead of ourselves, but again, I have full confidence in front of us.
I hope we will be there. So anyway, with that all being said, we had the opportunity to catch up with Cheyenne's head coach, Chad Goff. Interesting portion of this interview with Coach Goff. Game face is on. You can tell. It's all business with the T-Birds right now. So we are going to catch up with the head coach of the Thunderbirds after this timeout right here at 1480 KRAE.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. They have a 16-month CD at an annual percentage yield of 2.33% and a 27-month CD at an APY of 2.74%. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 49 and winds out the northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 29 and winds out the north at 10 to 20. On Friday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 57. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of rain showers with lows around 33.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Right now we are talking with East High head coach Chad Goff. Coach, it's been a while since we've had the East High Thunderbirds. A lot has happened, including the injury to Graydon Buell, but more importantly is your backup quarterback, Chance Miller, as you mentioned in the loss to Sheridan, more of a job interview situation for Chance, but last week in the playoff situation against the Laramie Plainsmen, kind of stepped up to the plate and did the job for you.
Yeah, did a great job. Just got better again as the game went on, as the week went on, and that's just what he does. He's just a big-time competitor and does good things.
You know, you've had Chance on both sides of the football and more of a wide receiver on the offensive side. I'm venturing to say, though, that you've had him throughout the course of the practices, taking snaps with the second team as well? Yeah,
definitely. Even with the first team, Chance coming into the season was probably pegged as the starter. He had a great football camp and everything like that, and then Graydon moved in, and we just knew Chance was a stud athlete no matter where you put him, and he was always, if he wasn't playing quarterback, he was always running out there and playing receiver and making one-handed grabs and high pointing the ball, and so we thought, well, that's a good opportunity for us as well.
You know, you look at Chance Miller as he gets thrown in, and obviously he knew Graydon got hurt at Rock Springs, but he had that week to prepare for Sheridan. And in any type of situation, big game, and I'm sure all the kids knew what was at stake when you played the Bronx at the time. But I would say butterflies that opening weekend against Sheridan, but a little more confidence as he's been taking more and more snaps with that first team.
Yeah, definitely. Just seeing things a whole lot better, throwing a whole lot better ball, being more confident in his reads, and just getting better each snap, and understanding when he does make a mistake, understanding right away what he did wrong.
As we start the first round of the playoffs last weekend, you drew the Laramie Plainsmen. And this has been a tough outfit. Yeah, they've been beaten a few times, but was it more of a slow start by East or a good plan in place by Laramie to shut you down in that first half?
Oh, I think a little bit of both. I thought Laramie's played teams tough all year, and I thought they came in and did some good things right away. I think our guys put a little too much pressure on themselves to start that game and just kind of came out flat, and then had some things happen and got some things rolling and kind of just never looked back.
Now, I know your teams don't get this way, and that's the overconfidence because you beat Casper and Trona in regular season play, but the focus this week on the Mustangs, and what was the message throughout the week of practice?
You know, play to win. You got to play to win. It's a playoff game. Be confident in the things that you did last time we played them. Understand the things that you need to get better at, and just stick together like you did the first time you played them, and go out there and compete.
You know, it's always hard to beat a team twice, especially when you go through league play as well as the playoffs. But, again, you and Coach Harshman have battled against each other in playoff situations in regular seasons for many years. Do you expect any, quote, gimmicks by Coach Harshman, or does he play pretty much close to the vest as he's done all season long?
Oh, I think they're just a solid football program. They're not a gimmick football program. They're not going to They're the number one defense in the state because they do what they do. They're the number one team in the state because they do what they do. They don't have to change anything.
You know, final thought here, especially on the offensive side, and with Chance back there in the backfield and Christian along with Riley. I mean, you have a very good running attack again, and when you come out of your shotgun formation, and again, you can go off the bellies, off either tackle. The thing is it more important to establish the run against these guys, or as you saw in your contest against them late in the game, you're able to throw the football against their secondary?
Yeah, I think you got to be able to throw the ball. I can tell you weather-wise, Friday night it might be both teams running the ball a little bit more than they probably wish to. But you got to be able to throw the ball against these guys just to try to get some of that pressure up front off you, and maybe open up some of those running lanes.
And last thought here, one more thing before we let you go. We also might like to find out about the health of the ball club. Aside from Graydon, how's the team physically heading into the semifinal contest?
Good. We've kind of eliminated a lot of the hitting from practice, trying to get kids as fresh as they can be, and getting them in and out and being sharp. Not a whole lot of standing around, just trying to keep everything sharp throughout the week. And so injury-wise, I think we're pretty good.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com. Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys heard only right here feature Jose Cuervo Especial Silver or Gold Tequila, 750 milliliter bottle, $13.99. Corona, Corona Light, Corona Premier, Corona Familiar, Pacifico, Modelo Especial or Negra Modelo, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans or bottles, $14.99. And Malibu Coconut Rum, 1.75-liter bottle, $21.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader. There are a lot of things that can go wrong with your vehicle, and most of it's a minor problem. And John at Shine Auto Repair and Service knows the right way to get you back on track. So with temperatures heading south, now's the perfect time to winterize your car or truck. This can be done with a simple oil change, maybe a tune-up, checking the thermostat, brakes, and shocks. It's the little and important repairs that Cars has performed on all makes of vehicles now for over 25 years to keep you motoring along in any season. For an appointment, call 632-0498 or stop on by at 604 West Linkaway. Shine Auto Repair and Service, open Monday through Friday.
Hello, this is Pastor Nathaniel Ensley with Blessed Hope Baptist Church in Burns, Wyoming, and I would like to invite you to listen to our weekly broadcast entitled Hope for Today, right here on 1480 KRAE, every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Our goal during each broadcast is to bring you a simple and short Bible truth that will be a help to you. Sure hope you can tune in. God bless you.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
As we bounce back and forth there, high school football, I'm going to go back to Major League Baseball. I know we got to do our picks here, Nick. So,
And we got to give away the last two pairs of tickets to go see the Cowboys.
Do we have another break left, too?
No.
We don't have another break?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I was going to say we should have another break because I don't have my picks here in front of me. I thought I brought them in. Did I leave them on my desk?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. You can write
How
mine.
should I know what
you can write mine down with you.
I don't have a pen, but okay. All right, there we go.
All right, a couple of things here from the baseball side. This concerns the Dodgers, so for our buddy Chris. No, I think this is
Who cares? They're two-time losers.
The Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw have agreed to extend the deadline for Kershaw to decide whether to exercise his contract option until tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, according to the Dodgers.
So he extended the deadline. It still doesn't mean he's with the team. He's still deciding.
And again, people forget Kershaw, who's now 30 years old, signed a 7-year, $215 million contract in January 2050 that included a player option to become a free agent after 5 seasons. So the question is, will he do that next year? Don't know.
In all his time with the L.A. Dodgers, it has amounted to what for him?
He hasn't got a championship.
I mean, he's got player awards, which is fine. You could do that with any team, clearly, with Giancarlo and the Miami Marlins. But, I mean, it's netted him 0 championships.
Right.
He's had 2 opportunities and still has not won anything. Is that something that sits on the mind of Clayton Kershaw of saying, hey, I've won everything. I've gotten Cy Youngs. I've gotten all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. I want the main thing. Is the Dodgers the right team for me to get it done? Clearly, again, 2 times in a row, they haven't.
All right, well, anyway, Kershaw is owed $65 million over the next 2 seasons.
Which is chump change to the Dodgers.
$32.5 million. Also on the Dodgers side, and again, I said this, that Manny Machado will not be in a Dodger uniform next year. He's already said thank you to the Dodgers, and he said thank you to the fans.
I gave him opportunity to stay there if they were to win a championship. They didn't. Yeah, now I'd say absolutely he's a free bird, and now where he lands, I don't know. Does he land in Philadelphia, a team that entertained getting back into the playoffs, faltered there at the tail end of the season?
Would he be Baltimore Orioles executives?
Yeah, that probably doesn't mean a whole lot, but I mean it is a young team that he can have veteran presence on, and maybe he might be that enough to elevate them to win the NL East and get back into playoff contention. But that's just one team. I mean, there's others around the league that will absolutely take a look at Manny Machado to bring him on by, as much as I think in what we saw, especially kind of got highlighted a lot in the playoffs. The guy's a troublemaker. He's a head case.
He's a dirty player.
He's a head case.
Yeah, he's a dirty player. And again, over in Philadelphia, the front office, a lot of the front office, formerly with Baltimore, and them and Machado had a good relationship. Yeah, what we saw with Manny in the playoffs,
I would have
staying in the National League as opposed to the American League. Going to be some headhunters after him.
Oh yeah.
You know, with some of the stuff that he was pulling.
Especially Milwaukee. Milwaukee's absolutely going to be targeting him in a few contests.
But this being said, if he does sign with Philly, here's another $30 million player right here. You know, Philly's got a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. They got a lot of young talent that they absolutely don't have to pay just of yet. So
well, they can throw a lot of money at this cat.
They can afford it,
yeah. All right, well, we're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to come back. We got to set things up here. Again, our coaches show coming up with Brian Ortmeier.
I think before we take a timeout, we might as well just get the tickets out of the way.
Well, we could do that, too. But, again, we're going to have Brian Ortmeier, LCCC basketball head coach for the Lady Golden Eagles. And then, again, Jason Ficca in at 4:30 today. We have tickets to give away to the Cowboys San Jose State game. Still no line on this game, basically.
Which is fair. It's a straight pick 'em.
Well, you know,
Vegas doesn't want to put money down.
Las Vegas is kind of bored with this game.
Why wouldn't they be?
It's like the Raiders and the Niners playing tonight. I mean, it's that
bad.
Well,
that game has a line. Well,
I'm just saying this one is. Nobody cares.
Yeah, at this point in time.
Except for the Cowboys. They are the only ones that care.
Yeah, they have a lot, at least on the line.
A lot riding on this game.
Yeah, and again, coming up this Saturday, high noon kickoff over in Laramie at War Memorial. Again, the Cowboys taking on the San Jose State Spartans. Again, for the Cowboys, it is a must-win. They have to win if they want to become bowl eligible. They need to win this one and the next two after, again, getting over the San Jose State Spartans. So, again, thank you to all who at least entered on the Facebook side by liking, commenting, and sharing the posts there on that Facebook page. Again, at least facebook.com/WyoSportsTalk. That's how you go and find us, like, and follow that page for any updates on any ticket giveaways we'll be doing throughout at least this year, next year, for however long. Again, Cowboys football, Cowboys basketball tickets that we just got in. Well, they're not necessarily tickets or ticket vouchers, but we'll explain that coming up next week. Also, two Cheyenne Stampede tickets and any other sports that give us tickets for whatever reason. Like, for instance, the Cheyenne Mustangs when baseball's in action. But anyways, thank you all who entered on the Facebook side. So we will be giving away 2 pairs of tickets today to go see the Cowboys and Spartans, along with also a pair of goodies to go see our friends over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Delrange and Windmill.
Oh, food was good today.
Wasn't bad. I'm not a spicy fan, but again, for the chicken, it does it. But
I did the wrap. The wrap was absolutely delicious.
It was good. Yeah, it was just a spicy chicken sandwich. Again, I'm not a spicy fan, but I got over it. Again, the chicken is just that
good. You sucked down 2 gallons of water. Oh, it's too hot. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead and give away tickets now.
Anyway, so again,
awesomeness.
So again, thank you to all who did enter throughout this whole week. So we'll get underway with our first winner. It will be Jay Gerber. Jay Gerber will be winner number 1 of a pair of tickets, and then winner number 2 will be, if I can get a hold of this one, it will be Susan Edgerton. So Jay Gerber and Susan Edgerton are our winners, our final winners of this week, to go see the Cowboys and Spartans high noon coming up Saturday over there in Laramie, Wyoming. As always, on Facebook, I will message both of you how to come by and pick up your tickets. You're going to have not a whole lot of opportunity. You're going to have to pick them up tomorrow.
It's going to be a short day here in the office, not because we're leaving, but again, it's kind of hit or miss with the staff. It's going to be really short staff. We're going to be on the road probably sometime around 1 tomorrow. So
we will encourage you.
1 o'clock. That'd be great. So you said Jay Gerber
and Susan Edgerton.
So congratulations again.
And if either of you cannot come by and get it, we will say, hey, I'll message you on Facebook.
Make sure somebody comes up by and picks them up, and you're at
I would
the ball.
say not anyone. We'll discuss if you have.
Somebody within the representing you. How does that sound?
I don't know about saying that, because then anyone can come in and say, yeah, I know them.
Well, that's
right.
Yeah, but you'll have to give them a special passcode or whatever.
I'll take care of that, so that's why I'm saying we'll get you at least notified on Facebook. So thank you all who entered, and again, congratulations to all our winners this week.
Did you real quick before we go to the break here? Did you hear John Gruden? He was speaking, I do believe, with Howie Long, talking about 2019 is going to be a special year for the Raiders.
Sure.
Even though they got rid of Khalil Mack
and
they got rid of Amari Cooper. Gruden has said he's been fielding messages and phone calls from players around the league who are dying to play with the Raiders in 2019.
Sure.
So I guess my question, I guess my question would be to you: how? And again, we're starting to get a little feel of this. How different do you think the Raiders are going to be next season?
Oh, absolutely different. A
total face.
It should be a fire sale left and right coming up in this offseason. I would even say Derek Carr, I don't think he's a part of that team next year. I think they move on.
So, again, right now they sit with 3 first-round draft picks.
That's opportunities to pick up a quarterback if you want to, of a
high caliber.
Maybe bolster with an offensive weapon, and maybe a defensive piece as well. I don't know. Again, especially where you are without Khalil Mack, maybe there's an opportunity to look at a linebacker and go, all right, we like you. We'll get you for the future. Obviously, right now for the Raiders, they're not even caring about Oakland at this point in time. They're not going to win next season. This is more so of setting up for the future of Las Vegas, of saying, hey, Vegas, here's your team. We're aiming to be good, at least an upper echelon kind of franchise.
So basically,
they're
flipping the bird to all of those Raider fans.
I think they did when they announced to go to Las Vegas, but at this point in time, I think cashing in this season, they're not doing anything this year. And next season, I think they're going to do a complete fire sale in the offseason. Yeah, I think they said, as much as they kind of went out and said, hey, we'll win one more for you, Oakland. Yeah, I don't think they care. I think their main focus right now is Las Vegas.
Do you think in tonight's game that we start seeing some of that Raider-less intensity by this team? I mean,
I think they're already playing.
Has John Gruden just said, screw the season, I don't care?
Oh, absolutely.
Even though he doesn't care, I don't mean
he won't come out and publicly say that, but I think absolutely. I think this team is just let's cash it in.
Let's go through the motions.
Absolutely. I would not be surprised that, again, we'll get into our picks about everything, but the game tonight, I have a feeling on an outcome. Again, the Raiders are just terrible, and they're not even terrible they don't even have excuses for how terrible they are. They're just a bad team. They're just terrible. Again, for the 49ers, yeah, they're terrible, but there's a huge reason why they are 1-7 at this point in time. They have a long list of IR personnel, again, where a lot of those
but they're also stupid, as they lost not once but twice to Arizona, where they coughed up the game both times to the Cardinals.
Well, I think that's also
and the Cardinals stink.
Yeah, but again, this is more so of what you're seeing as second stringers. Again, Beathard, he's a second string quarterback for a reason. I have no faith in that guy. He's a bench warmer for a reason.
Yeah.
He is not the starter of this 49ers team, only under desperate measures, which they are under right now. That's all I take away is, yeah, they lost to the Cardinals twice because, again, they're playing their second stringers right now. They're playing the backup squad because everyone else on the main squad is injured.
Except for Goodwin, and it's good to see that Richard Sherman is
back. You still need a main piece of quarterback that can still get you the ball, and I don't trust that with CJ.
Okay,
just saying.
All right, we're going to come back with our.
He didn't get paid the money like Jimmy G did for a reason.
Well, Jimmy G at the time was undefeated. He lost a couple of times.
He should have been undefeated again in that Minnesota game, but.
Yeah, they blew that one because of youth and stupidity. All right, we are going to take a timeout. We'll come back with our picks after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks. Good game, boys. You showed some real fight. Like when Wachowski put that hit on our own mascot. Solid work, son. Okay, Friday was for football, but Tuesday is for tacos. Taco Tuesday at Taco John's. It's a sacred holiday where we eat tacos repeatedly until I get full.
Save big every Taco Tuesday with crispy beef tacos for just 99 cents.
Get some rest, boys, because come Taco Tuesday, we olay the day.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
One of the safest choices drivers and passengers can make is to buckle up every trip, every time. In 2016, seatbelt usage in passenger vehicles saved an estimated 14,668 lives nationally. We know it will save our lives, but too often we forget, many times with dire, potentially fatal results. Make sure you and your passengers buckle up every time. Paid for by federal highway safety funds.
John Barrasso, fighting for all of Wyoming.
Wyoming is a land of spectacular beauty and great history. Teddy Roosevelt praised Wyoming's cowboy cavalry that helped form his Rough Riders. That cowboy courage and determination lives on today in our people.
John Barrasso is working to unleash Wyoming's potential, fighting to end the war on Wyoming's energy economy, honor and serve Wyoming veterans, confirm common sense judges who understand the Constitution, protect our farmers and ranchers from costly Washington rules and mandates. And John fought for and won tax cuts that help hardworking Wyoming families and businesses.
As a doctor, I help people get healthy again. Now as a senator, I fight to protect our state and make our country stronger. I'm John Barrasso. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote to keep fighting for you and Wyoming's families.
Paid for by friends of John Barrasso. BarrassoForWyoming.com. Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 49 and winds out the northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 29 and winds out the north at 10 to 20. On Friday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 57. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of rain showers with lows around 33.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
That show or something.
That was a good show. I liked it. Pro Man, me, Junior Pro Man, he crossed the way. It's time for our picks. We didn't do them last week, right?
Well, we had a bye week essentially because again I was out in San Jose,
and I'm kicking your butt. So
you're leading by like a game or two.
I'm 3 games ahead of you. Minimum.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, yes, it is our week 8 picks. As last week we had essentially a bye week as I was gone for the entire week, so we did not do it as we do every Thursday here on Wyoming Sports Talk Today, where we choose 5 games of my interests that intrigue me. 5 games between NFL and NCAA football.
Notice he said it's his, what intrigues him. It's all about Nick. It's not about Pops.
Then you create the list, and I don't see you doing
it. I'm busy. I'm doing.
Then there you go. Again, it's under my term, so that's how we'll play the game.
It's called writing and producing commercials.
Well, that's how we'll play my game, because again, it's my responsibility. Anyways, 5 games. We pick against the spread, or when games don't have a spread, like for instance with the Wyoming Cowboys, we just straight up pick them. But again, all that information, if you go under at least 1480KRAE.com, go into the programming guide, go to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Please don't mess with your drink over there as it's making noise. Yeah, you're like a monkey. Anyways, again, go under Wyoming Sports Talk Today. There is a weekly picks and standings page where you can click on that and see at least what we went with. If you want to play at home, and also to our current standings as of usually update every Monday. First game, again, we'll start with game number 1, week 8 picks. It'll be tonight's Thursday night contest between the Oakland Raiders, who are 1-6, at the San Francisco 49ers, 1-7 at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. 6:20 kickoff tonight on Fox, and also too, you can watch it on NFL Network. The 49ers are a 2.5-point favorite in this contest. It will be the final Battle of the Bay between these two, because again, Oakland Raiders, they will be moving to Las Vegas come 2020. So In NFL, we do not, or at least I do not give extra facts like the NCAA game, so we'll just go straight into it. I'll be up first, I guess, on this one between the 49ers and the Raiders coming up tonight. It has been just announced as well, too, for the 49ers. It will not be C.J. Beathard starting for the 49ers. Instead, it will be rookie Nick Mullins, who will be starting for the San Francisco 49ers tonight at home. With all that being said, the 49ers...
Mr. 49er, where's Nick Mullins from?
I don't know that information.
Southern Miss. He's a Southern Miss Golden Eagle, signed as an undrafted free agent with the Niners in 2017 and was on the taxi or the practice squad.
And still a rookie, has not played.
Fourth quarterback for the Niners.
Yeah. Anyways, again, it's whatever at this point in time. Again, the whole season for both teams is a complete wash. For this game, 49ers at home, 2.5. New quarterback announced for tonight. Yes, they are injured. The Raiders, they're playing like they don't care. I still got to go with my boys. Yeah, 49ers at home, sure. It'll also, too, be a special moment tonight as T.O. will be in attendance. He will be accepting his Hall of Fame ring since he was not there at Canton. Part of those festivities, so they will have their own little festivities at halftime for T.O., so maybe that'll hype up this team and get them a victory. So, I'll go 49ers. Yeah, 2.5. I'll take Niners to get their win number 2 this season.
First off, Nick Mullins, who was 20-21 in his career at Southern Miss. He's going to be 0-1 with the 49ers. As much as I love the Niners, as much as I grew up with the Raiders, when you mentioned Nick Mullins, I said, game lost.
It could be Beathard, it could be Mullins.
Again, you said it best. You said all these second stringers. Well, here's another second. This is a third stringer that's coming in tonight. And how many reps do you think he's had with the first team?
Maybe he could be.
Or who is the first team anymore?
If anything, the Raiders don't have any information on this guy. They don't know what to expect. Maybe he surprises. I don't know. On this one,
the Raiders at least scored 28.
I just got to go with the Niners.
I know, but the Raiders at least scored 28 points against the Colts. The Niners couldn't score against Arizona.
Yeah.
So, you know what? No, I'm sorry. As much as I'm a diehard 49er fan, season is lost. Niners are looking for that number 1 draft pick. They're going to get a little bit closer tonight as they will lose to the Raiders.
I think that stadium seats, from what I remember being there, taking the tour, about 50,000 something. Or
where, at Leli?
Yeah.
75,000.
75?
Oh, yeah. It's a huge stadium.
I don't think it was that big.
All right, I will get that information for you right now.
I thought it was something a little less than that. But either way, though, the point being is that I don't even think that thing gets half full tonight. Between, again, pulling from both Oakland and San Francisco, it's on a far drive to get down south to Santa Clara, right there on the edge of the bay. But this is a game that is just going to be – there's going to be a lot of red seats open at Levi Stadium. So you will go what?
I'm going with Raiders.
Yeah, you'll go Raiders or go 49ers. I thought you added your...
Oh, Levi Stadium seats 70,799.
All right. It's not going to get anywhere close to that tonight. I don't even think half. Way less than half shows up.
But then that would be the Raider fans going to the game.
All right, so you have a quarter of the stadium, 49ers.
You may have 50,000 in attendance.
No.
Okay.
No, there is no way. Anyways, though, so you'll go Raiders, I'll go 49ers. So that is game number 1. Game number 2 will be on Saturday. It will be the San Jose State Spartans. They are 1-7 overall, 1-3 in the Mountain West at Wyoming, taking on the Cowboys, who are 3-6 overall, 1-4 in the Mountain West. This will be at War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, Wyoming. 12 noon kickoff. It's not on anything national TV for obvious reasons. And also, too, with this game, there is no line, so it's just a straight pick 'em. I'll let you go.
The game, to me...
Actually, I do have facts for this as well, too. I'll give you the facts. You'll let you at least mull on this one for a little bit longer. The Cowboys and Spartans will be meeting for the 11th time. Wyoming leads the overall series with San Jose State by a margin of 6-4. The two teams have split the 4 previous meetings in Laramie at 2 apiece. The two teams have played 3 common opponents this season. Wyoming defeated CSU 34-21 last week, while San Jose State lost to the Rams 42-30. Wyoming lost to Washington State 41-19, while San Jose State was shut out by the Cougars 31-0. The Cowboys lost at Hawaii by a score of 13-17, and the Spartans lost at home to the Rainbow Warriors 41-44 in 5 overtime. So again, straight pick 'em. It's not up at 2 apiece. Will San Jose State take advantage in Laramie, go up 3-2, or will the Cowboys go 3-2 in this matchup with the San Jose State Spartans? It's up to you.
I think I'm going to go with the Wyoming Cowboys just because it's at home and I have nothing more to say about it.
I would hope I went with Wyoming as well too. I would hope the Cowboys beat the Spartans. If they don't, we have serious problems right now. This is granted we're already at kind of critical nature right now with the Wyoming Cowboys. But if Wyoming is to lose to the Spartans at home coming up Saturday, there's things that. There's pieces that need to be moved.
Well,
quickly.
yeah, there would be a big cry for change, and it will come.
There's already been a cry for change, but I think action needs to be done after. If the Cowboys are to lose to San Jose State, again, as we mentioned yesterday, all those little pieces, all those negatives that are going to be trickling on down from this, the repercussions, again, not bowl eligible anymore. A sub-500 season for the Cowboys, and again, you're going to lose fans. It's just going to be this trickle-down effect in a negative way for the Cowboys. I think if they lose, that should be, in my mind, and again, fingers crossed, that should be the breaking point of things. Things need to change there in Wyoming.
It will be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
It has to be. It has to be.
Fans.
It has to be.
So
you lose to a team that's 1-7.
And if the athletic director turns his back on what the fans think and what
then the fans,
folks that put a little money into the coffers over there,
hopefully the fans turn their back on them then.
So yeah, this is not a good time for the Wyoming Cowboys. So it's a must win, no matter. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, for the Cowboys, it's winning for the coach's job, to be real honest.
Absolutely. So we'll go.
And like I said, hands down, I'm going with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'll go with Wyoming as well, too. They should win this. If they do not, it is very surprising, and things need to happen. Change needs to happen there in Laramie. All right, so game number 3, we'll move on. This is also, too, on Saturday. It will be number 1 Alabama, 8-0. They are 5-0 in the SEC. We'll be at number 3 LSU, who are 7-1 overall, 4-1 in the SEC. This will be at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 6 o'clock kickoff on CBS. The Crimson Tide, 15-point favorite heading into this one. LSU goes into the Alabama game with an all-time record of 2-13-1 against the number 1 ranked team in the nation. Saturday will mark the 7th time LSU will face a number 1 ranked Alabama team. Last year, top-ranked Alabama secured a 24-10 victory in Tuscaloosa. Now in this series overall between these two, Alabama leads, get this, 52-25-5. That is a lot. So I'll go up on this one for game number 3 between Alabama and LSU on the road for the Crimson Tide. 15 points for the Crimson Tide. Yeah, Alabama, they win this one. I'd say by probably 3 touchdowns. They shouldn't have really a big fit with the Tigers.
Well, this is a big one for LSU. You lose, you're out of the bowl championship series.
Oh yeah.
So it's huge for them in Baton Rouge.
They're in Death Valley.
But again, with Alabama, really they should be the Thursday night game tonight. They should just be going their first string against their second string. It'll be a better game than the Niners and the Raiders. And, of course, they're probably about the 20th best team in the NFL right now. This one, yeah, Alabama, whoever Nick Saban decides to throw, 3 touchdowns are better in this one. They should have something wrapped up by halftime with the point spread. Alabama.
Yeah, we'll see. So we'll both agree on Alabama. We'll quickly go through the last 2 games as they are both on Sunday NFL action as we're getting close to the top of the hour. So game number 4, it will be the Houston Texans 5-3 overall at the Denver Broncos 3-5 at Bronco Stadium at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. 2:05 kickoff on CBS. The Broncos are a 1-point favorite in this one as Demaryius Thomas will return back to Denver after being traded. So it's I wonder if he just stayed back at home at least for this contest. But anyways, you're up.
I'm going to go with Houston. I think.
I'm going Houston.
Where you said the cries for the head of one Vance Joseph, it'll get a lot louder this week.
Absolutely, and I think Houston, Demaryius Thomas. I think Demaryius Thomas. This is the game where he kind of proves of saying basically, hey Broncos,
no,
you got rid of me for a reason. I think so. For me, something tells me, and again, we see a lot of those games after those trades when 2 teams kind of match up like this. Yeah, I think Something tells me that DT is going to have an awesome game because, again, he's going to want to put up the middle finger to the Broncos saying, hey, oh, you wanted to trade me for a reason? Well, look what I can do.
He can't catch a cold, so I'm not worried
we'll
about
see.
it.
He doesn't have to catch from Case Keenum anymore. That might be been his issue. Anyways, we'll both agree with the Texans. Final game, game number 5, L.A. Rams 8-0 will be at New Orleans Saints 6-1 at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. 2:25 kickoff on Fox. The Saints 1-point favorite at home against the L.A. Rams, the only undefeated team in the NFL, the L.A. Rams.
I like the season that Drew Brees is having. It reminds me of that great year that Peyton Manning had.
Probably a matchup we'll see probably in the NFC Championship.
I think so, and it will be in the L.A. Coliseum. But this one, I'm gonna say that the Saints hold home serve on this one. They're gonna win at home.
I don't know about that. The Rams are just too.
The Packers gave the Rams all they could handle last weekend.
But the Rams are very good, though. They know
no argument.
They know how to win clearly, as they are undefeated. And I think on the road where they're going to be tested again, this is pretty much preparation for the playoffs. Where I think these two are going to see each other again come playoff time. But I think the Rams have enough with Jared Goff, how they're firing Todd Gurley. Yes, the Rams get it done. They get the win coming up this Sunday. So that's how it'll go. So just to quickly recap our Week 8 picks, with the Raiders in San Francisco, you went Raiders, I go 49ers. For San Jose State and Wyoming, we both go with the Cowboys. Alabama, LSU, we both go with the Crimson Tide. Houston Texans and Denver Broncos, we both go with Houston. You go Saints, I go LA Rams for the last game of our Week 8 picks. So that's how it goes. And again, find all that information on 1480KRAE.com. Go into the programming guide. Find Wyoming Sports Talk Today. On the sidebar on that page, you will find the weekly picks and standings. You click on that, and it gives you, again, up-to-date standings picks, and also 2 little bonus picks as well, 2 of our NFL divisional picks that we had earlier this year as well.
All right. We got to wrap things up here for hour number 1. Our LCCC Coaches Show coming up in hour number 2. Let's get to hour number 2 right now.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30, Helen Hale of Sale. Chick-fil-A at the corner, Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards. See my good friends Ray and Cindy Mefford, the entire crew of their fantastic folks. Chick-fil-A of Cheyenne. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. 18's got to go, 19's are arriving. Platte Valley Bank over on Vandehigh, as well as the corner of College and Pershing Medicap Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, same location as always, Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. That can be found on Pershing Boulevard, the Auto Body Shop over on Dunn Avenue. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Mondello's Pizzeria, 7 days a week. Paisan cuisine at its best. Locally owned, locally operated by my good friend Joe Mondello, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, and we get things underway here in hour number 2 because we always go to our scoreboard first, and it's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
LCCC in action, at least women's volleyball coming up tonight at Story Gym. It is a continuation of the Region 9 tournament, as last night LCCC got the victory over Casper College by a final of 3-2. They will take on Northeastern Junior College coming up tonight. Again, a game over at Story Gym at 6 o'clock. NHL action for tonight. Winnipeg Jets in Florida taking on the Panthers as they will be at the Hartwell Arena. Toronto Maple Leafs at home hosting the Dallas Stars. Pittsburgh Penguins traveling out to the island to take on the New York Islanders at Barclays Center. Montreal Canadiens at Central Bell Center hosting the Washington Caps. Buffalo Sabres traveling up north to take on the Ottawa Sens at Canadian Tire Center. Detroit Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena hosting the New Jersey Devils. You will also see the Tampa Bay Lightning hosting the Nashville Predators. Vegas Golden Knights and St. Louis taking on the Blues at Enterprise Center. Calgary Flames hosting the red-hot Colorado Avalanche. That game will be at 7 o'clock tonight, and you can see it on Altitude Network. Edmonton Oilers at Rogers Place hosting the Chicago Blackhawks. The Pond Honda Center hosting Anaheim, taking on the New York Rangers. Philadelphia Flyers traveling out to Staples to see the LA Kings. And in San Jose SAP Center, the San Jose Sharks play host to the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's what's happening. NHL action for tonight.
NBA scoreboard will have the Charlotte Hornets tonight playing host to the OKC Thunder. Hey, the Denver Nuggets 6-1 after the victory last night. They will be continuing on the road. They'll take on the Cavaliers at the Quicken Loans Arena. Nuggets victorious last night in Chicago at the United Center. Denver 6-1 on the season, 2-1 away from the can. It will be the Clippers at the 76ers at the Wells Fargo Center. State Farm Arena in Atlanta. GA Hawks and the Sacramento Kings. The Bucks and the Celtics in the TD Garden. And in the Moda Center, the Pelicans, after getting whipped on by the Warriors last night in the Oracle, they will take on the Portland Trailblazers tonight in Portland, Oregon. Our scoreboard, that's right, Thursday night football, too, from Levi Stadium. The 49ers playing host to the Raiders coming up later on this evening. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Perotti, Nick Perotti. Our special guest is Brian Ortmeier, head coach of the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles, third year head coach of the JC program here in town. Real quick, Coach, you know, unlike the four-year schools, as you're out there and trying to get ladies to come to Cheyenne and Laramie County Community College, you don't have that opportunity of getting them as freshmen and keeping them all the way to seniors. It's basically freshman to sophomore. But now that you're into your third year, going out on the recruiting trail, how's things out there? Is it a little more receptive knowing that the basketball program has been revived here in town?
Yeah, first off, thanks again. It's great to be back for year 3. And, again, we love having you guys back with us at the college as well. So, but you know what? I think going into year 3, you learn a lot about just kind of what works in this area, recruiting, what's maybe not working quite as well, just different parts of Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, kind of our local area here that we can get into. Again, just with some connections I have in Nebraska, we're going to try and make a little better push into there this year too. So, again, you kind of feel out your region. You find what's going to work best, and that's kind of what we work toward. And now with us going into year 3 as well, more people know about LCCC women's basketball, which is kind of making us, again, just a kind of a bigger brand in this area. And that's definitely helping with our recruiting moving into what will be year 4.
Is recruiting a year-long process for a coach such as yourself? Yeah,
we're kind of, again, we're looking toward, next year's recruiting right now. I know every coach kind of has a little different approach. I really feel with women's basketball, the longer you wait with some of it, you're going to miss out on some of those. You're going to miss out on some of the area talent if you wait too long. So we are in the process of setting up some visits with some kids from Colorado and in-state here in Wyoming. Again, it's a little more local recruiting right now. But, yeah, we're definitely making that push here in November.
You know, I sat down with you in the office, and you showed me some videos of kids that you're looking at. And matter of fact, I know a couple of them did decide to go to LCCC. Mm-hmm. Is this a process where you only can watch the kids via video, or do you have advanced scouts out there for you? And again, you have a lot of people that you know in the business, but are you getting phone calls, hey, Brian, you need to check out so-and-so at so-and-so school? How does that all go about when you're doing the recruiting part?
It's definitely part of it. It's high school coaches that it's other coaches that in this area of the country that have been out to different events. Our budget's going to look a little different than a Division I's recruiting budget. So they're able to hit all those summer tournaments. They're going to Florida and Philadelphia and Nashville, Chicago. I mean, you could literally pick a tournament for 5-6 weeks straight in the summer. And again, there's every weekend there's 4 or 5 tournaments, and they're just spread out across all the major cities. So a lot of those D1 programs, they'll send a head coach to one location. They'll send their other 3 assistant coaches out to different events, and then they just every weekend they compile their stuff on Monday in terms of what they saw, which kids they need to go watch again. So for us, we try to take that approach the best that we can. We'll try and hit a lot of our Midwest events. So, we'll for sure hit the Madness. Mountain Madness is one that at the end of the summer in Denver that we'll go to. So, again, we get to see a lot of the local AAU teams. And then, again, we'll try to hit a bigger tournament, whether it's something in Texas or it's something in, a Kansas City or, one of those bigger city centers also in the summer, just to kind of to broaden our radar recruiting-wise. And there's recruiting websites. There's online film. We get stuff from international kids. We get stuff from high school coaches, AAU coaches. And then, again, it's what's going to be a good fit. And then just doing our background research on kids to make sure that it's going to be a good fit academically and program-wise too.
Definitely, again, great time to be in this kind of information age of just getting that opportunity. But you did mention Texas. We do have a few recruits coming in from Texas. But my question for you, Coach, is as you're talking about kind of the local area, the Rocky Mountain region with Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, but you did actually step out of that region, get a few recruits from the state of Texas. Now, when thinking about D1 programs, obviously we're JUCO program, but you think of those kind of pipeline states of California, Texas, Florida. Is there possibilities, again, as we're expanding, getting more recognition with LCCC, is that something you entertain as well, too, of saying, hey, here's someone who's recommended to me from Florida or California? Do you take a look at that as well, too, and try to push for those players, or is it more so just heavy emphasis on the local area?
Well, we're always going to have that heavy emphasis in our local area, just again because we can get out to those games, we can go watch those kids, we can evaluate them in person 4 to 6 times, and again really have a good sense of what they can do and maybe some things that they can't do quite as well. So again, we're always going to put that heavy emphasis here local, but to have those pipelines is essential. Again, it's a different type of basketball when you go into some of those locations in terms of I really believe the physicality. They're playing basketball. You can look up the Frisco Fieldhouse down outside of Dallas. And there are games every single weekend, almost all year. So those kids are never putting the ball down. And again, it's just it's nice to have some of those pipelines in terms of, if you need a 6'2" post, well, it may be a little tough to go into Denver and get one of those against the RMAC schools. So it gives us just kind of a different location that we can go into with that pipeline. It's just, again, it's a kid that might get overlooked that we can pull up here.
We are talking with Brian Ortmeier, head coach of the LCCC women's basketball program, the Lady Golden Eagles. It is our LCCC coaches show here on 1480 KRAE. You keep using the word we, so let's put in a plug for the newest member of we that is going to be joining you on the bench this season.
Coach Danielle Ronaldo, works here locally at Gold's Gym. So again, she played basketball at one of our local JCs. She's an NJC alum, and then she went out to Mesa out in Grand Junction, Colorado, and finished her college career playing Division II basketball. So has been a great addition to the coaching staff, again, with her background and kind of training student athletes in the weight room is definitely made a big difference for us. She's able to kind of tailor our weights program for our girls and make it specifically for basketball, which has been a good thing for us. And then again, also just being familiar with that level of basketball, she can relate very well to our girls and our students that we have in our program.
You have a lot of student athletes that are from out of town, so they will have housing on the LCCC campus, which is a nice thing for the young ladies, but also too, it's not like in Laramie at the High Altitude Performance Center.
Yeah.
It's a little different. on the JUCO side, but the student athletes are well cared for and looked after by our own community college.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of things that we'll do to, like you were saying, to take care of them at the JC level. One really neat thing that different people within the college have looked at setting up is our host family program. Again, just wanted to get kind of a little plug in for that. And again, partnering up with the AARP here locally to get that program up and running, which is a really cool thing for our girls, just to be connected with our community and to be able to have that back and forth. Again, just that connection with our community members. And again, with the host family program, they're able to reach out to their host family and again, be able to spend some time off of campus with them. And then in return, hopefully have that support at the games. So, between that and again, different things that we can do to take advantage of our facilities and our weights program to give them that too. I feel like we do a pretty good job of piecing together not just necessarily the basketball piece, but the stuff off the court as well.
So did you notice when he said AARP, he looked right at me? You notice that right away? What are you trying to pull here, pal?
I had a birthday recently. I feel like I'm going to get my card here pretty soon in the mail.
Well, you got a long way to go there, young guy.
Absolutely.
Anyway, what's up?
But at least with that host family program, at least it sounds, at least to me, kind of like what the Cheyenne Stampede do with the billet program. Again, getting that opportunity, again, getting those at least student athletes that just kind of family vibe out here while they're away from their actual families. But would be dismissed not to at least ask, is there still openings for host families to take in some programs? Or how do families here in the city of Cheyenne volunteer for this program?
Okay, so for us, I can't have involvement in terms of how it's organized and how it gets set up. Again, anybody that was looking to potentially take part in our program, they would contact our foundation office. And again, Billy Adelman in our community has done an excellent job in terms of working with the AARP and our foundation office. And Melissa,
look at me again. Look at him when you say AARP.
Okay, I'll make sure. Sorry, Larry.
I'm like 4 decades behind you. Yeah, come on.
But no, they've all done a great job of spearheading it and getting it off the ground. But yeah, I would contact either Melissa Dishman through our foundation office. Billy Adelman's a good contact here in our community as well. Anybody looking to partake in the host family program with the women's basketball team.
And I want to keep on that theme though, again, of just kind of this volunteer outreach within the community. We also too had Clark Rasmussen on earlier, at least this few weeks ago, talking about you kind of being out in the community. I do believe that you, at least during the off season, were out at the Cheyenne Plaza Depot, at least doing a little community service. Is that something that you're kind of emphasizing on at least your team, trying to again get a part? Like for instance, again, I go back to the Cheyenne Stampede. They do a lot of volunteering, whether it's here or there. But is that something you're looking to at least expand upon for your team?
Yeah, I think again the first year or two of our program, you get caught kind of putting so much focus into what's happening in the day-to-day on campus, all those things. So a lot of our outreach that we had done was stuff that was more involved with campus, whether it was our daycare clinic on campus and visiting them in our preseason. And one thing I really wanted to kind of shift our focus toward is, like you said, is really getting our girls off campus and getting more involved with some of the organizations that we have in our community. So down at the Depot Plaza, that was the Kicks for Kids that, again, was put on here locally to raise money for tennis shoes for kids that are going to be in middle school PE programs. And then again, also we went out and helped with a practice run for the 5K for the Girls on the Run program, which again is an excellent organization here locally for anybody looking to get their youth, their daughters, and their again just their youth involved with an excellent program. So again, it's good for our girls to see that and to be around those types of programs, and hopefully once they move on from the college, decide to get involved with those types of places.
You know, one of the things, and you kind of jogged a memory, not having a senior moment here, but you know, I think back in '75 when I went to my JC playing both football and baseball, and I was living with my dad. My mom had not sold her house up in Northern California, and we're living in the central part, and then my dad got called away to Richmond, Virginia. But for the ladies as opposed to the guys, is homesickness one of those things that kicks in either or for the guys or for the ladies. But again, that goes hand in hand with these outreach programs. Is that also trying to provide a way for them not to get homesickness?
I think there's no doubt that being more involved with those types of programs will help. Well, I think it's also it's almost impossible not to be a little homesick when you are further away from home. But being able to have that host family, being able to meet with some of these different organizations, be involved with the community, again, just kind of getting yourself out of that bubble on campus. I think that makes a big difference in terms of just, again, having that outreach and having just some different people on off campus that you can communicate with and be involved with.
We're going to talk more LCCC hoops, and we're talking the Lady Golden Eagles with Coach Brian Ortmeier after we take a timeout right here on 1480 KRAE.
The bike. You'll get a chance April 1st to test your skills. The DDA and Rock on Wheels are implementing the new Re-Ride bicycle program to service residents and visitors in the downtown area. First, they need bikes, and then more bikes. Rock on Wheels is offering their time and efforts to refurbish the bikes, so if you have a bike sitting unused in your garage, give George a call and donate that bike today. The number is 637-0020. That's 637-0020. Get ready to re-ride in historic downtown Cheyenne.
John Barrasso, fighting for all of Wyoming.
Wyoming is a land of spectacular beauty and great history. Teddy Roosevelt praised Wyoming's cowboy cavalry that helped form his Rough Riders. That cowboy courage and determination lives on today in our people.
John Barrasso is working to unleash Wyoming's potential, fighting to end the war on Wyoming's energy economy, honor and serve Wyoming veterans, confirm common sense judges who understand the Constitution, protect our farmers and ranchers from costly Washington rules and mandates. And John fought for and won tax cuts that help hardworking Wyoming families and businesses.
As a doctor, I help people get healthy again. Now as a senator, I fight to protect our state and make our country stronger. I'm John Barrasso. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote to keep fighting for you and Wyoming's families.
Paid for by friends of John Barrasso. BarrassoForWyoming.com.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but not necessarily in that order. You decide where you're going and how you'll get there. An unwritten experience awaits. Be bold, be prepared, be inspired. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Visit lccc.wi.edu to start your story today.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 49 and winds out the northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 29 and winds out the north at 10 to 20. On Friday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 57. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of rain showers with lows around 33.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on 1480 KRAE with our coaches show. Again, this is LCCC Day, and we get to talk to
That's
LCCC.
something that we're bringing back again this year. We had last year. Again, appreciate Brian Ortmeier and also to Jason Ficca, which we'll have coming up next. Again, doing this, at least joining us here on KRAE again this year with the coaches show.
All right, ladies first with Brian Ortmeier, the head coach, again, his third season with the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles program. And we get to talk some hoops now. Again, if you missed in our earlier part, we were talking about things in general with the basketball program. Let's talk about your team. You look back to last season where I was really glad that I had a chance to keep close tabs on the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles. Saw some very positive things. Also saw where the team kind of wore out towards the end of the season. And again, where the team really wore out was getting beat by big ladies in the middle. So this year's team, tell us a little bit. We're not really 6-2 in the middle, but it's a different look than last season.
It is, and we're still trying to work our way through some things on the defensive side of the court in terms of helping our post defense to be able to take care of some of those 6'2", 6'3", some of those monsters that we'll be seeing inside. But just kind of having a pretty good idea of looking at our region that we're going to see in the North region, the South region. I would say probably about 85-95% of our games, somewhere in there, we're going to match up really well with the team standing across from us. We're much quicker across the perimeter this year. That's really showed up in our half-court defense in terms of some of these scrimmages that we've been out to. We've scrimmaged some pretty talented programs between playing Miles. We went out to Kansas and saw Pratt and Barton JUCOs, which, again, traditionally have been pretty solid on the women's basketball side. And, again, right out of the gate, we scrimmaged Miles. We hold them to 0 in the first quarter. We kind of had that same amount of success against schools like Pratt and Barton, where we're holding them to 4 and 6 points in quarters. So I've been very pleased with where we are half-court defense-wise. Offensively, it's coming along. Again, I think there's some things kids are still kind of figuring out roles, when to attack, when to make the next pass, those kinds of things. But, again, we're still very, very early in terms of the process this year, and I'm pleased with what we're doing. But, I think with us moving to the North region, knowing kind of still what we're going to see in the South, we match up very well with what we have in our program.
It's ironic. Let me finish on that thought. It's ironic, though, Coach, that you, to a certain degree, almost have a Coach Ficca type of team on the floor this year, where you've got 4 ladies that can burn you from the outside, and then you can go down low and get those scoop-in buckets. Yeah. And also, too, I know you have a couple of returners they're going to add to the mix. But also, I think of, Nick, I think of our own favorite team, the Golden State Warriors.
That's what I was about to bring up.
They don't necessarily have to be 7-footers, but you have a lot of bombs away ladies on the team. So this is going to be a lot different look than what Golden Eagle fans have seen over the last couple of seasons.
It should be, and we're
potentially,
and we're still working to get that transition offense piece into, so we're getting some easier buckets in transition. But you're exactly right. We're going to be probably a little smaller on the perimeter, but we should have some better quickness and some better speed to be able to drive into gaps and kick it out for that 3.
Well, let's talk about at least now past scrimmaging, past the preseason. Here we are coming up tomorrow. It is go time. It's regular season time for both LCCC women and men, as you both will be up at the Sheridan Classic. For the women, I do believe a 1 o'clock tip-off versus the College of Southern Idaho. But how about it? I mean, looking at this schedule, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar tournaments, some that were kind of experience anew, at least for us as well too, with whether it's being Adams State Junior Varsity, Air Force Prep. But let's look at the non-conference schedule for LCCC. What are some games that you kind of have circled on your calendar?
That first one right out of the gate, playing CSI. It's a school that I'm pretty familiar with, being at Colorado Northwestern out in that region. They're big, they're physical, and again, they're a team that traditionally is going to be pushing to be in the top 10, top 5. And they do start out the year inside the top 20. So it's going to be a big test for us right out of the gate.
Is there slight pressure to defeat that team, since it is Clark Rasmussen's old school?
To play well. That's the thing. I want to see us compete. I want to see us battle and see how we match up against a team that again is traditionally top 10. So I would expect that they'll probably be a team that's going to push their way into that ranking by the end of the season. But they're definitely a team that's going to be one of those that we're going to learn a lot about coming into that game. And then again, just a lot of familiar region foes. With us being centrally located, even moving to the north sub-region, we still have a lot of familiar faces. So McCook is a team. They've got some bigger girls. They bring back a lot of their same players from last year. But just based on kind of what I'm seeing in the scrimmages, they're going to be a team that's going to be a little tougher. They're going to be a little better than they were last year. Central Wyoming, again, that's going more to the north. They've shown some improvement. I would say Trinidad, again, they're going to be another program that's going to be one of the better ones in our preseason, and then also Otero. They bring back a lot of the same players. They have a different coach. So, they're playing a little different style this year.
But they all graduated big kids, though, which
That's
you're
true.
very happy about.
That is true. A lot of the better players in the post position did graduate, and I would say even in the North, a lot of them did move on. It is amazing to look across the league, and a lot of our region teams are going to play more small ball this year.
I'm curious. I want to keep on the schedule theme with you, Coach, but how much say do you have in the non-conference, at least of choosing opponents? Like for instance, again, you'll have a home and away with Air Force Prep. You'll be at home against North Platte. Again, competing with the Sheridan Classic, also to return for at least around Thanksgiving, where we will have that broadcast at the McCook Classic there in McCook, Nebraska. But how much say do you have of opponents you would like to see in the at least pre-conference schedule?
Well, the NJCAA made a change last year in terms of how they look at your quality of opponent and your quality of win and loss. So for rankings and postseason, which again hopefully becomes more important to us as we continue to grow our program here, you've got to play NJCAA Division I teams. The way that they look at a win for you is they look at, is it Division I, is it NJCAA Division II, or is it Division III? And if you play a prep school or if you play an all-star team, it counts as even below that. So we're going to have to find ways to hopefully get away from playing, going to places where they're going to have that second game versus the Wyoming All-Stars or CSU Club. And again, it can be difficult to try and find that true 30-game schedule and to get enough home games and to get people to finally come out of their home arenas. But everybody's going to have to at some point kind of bite the bullet, and we're going to have to play each other. So we're fortunate enough that we're in a spot, and if we can start our scheduling, we kind of got hung up on the women's basketball side with our scheduling last year because we didn't really know it going until that spring meeting if we were going to be in the North or the South. Our men's side already had that decided, so they were kind of 2 steps ahead of us in terms of schedule. So hopefully next year, our preseason, we can get schools like Western Nebraska and Lamar and NJC. We can get kind of that full complement of South teams to play us in the preseason, so we're not going and playing at Adams State JV and some of those types of things in the future. So we do have a lot of say in it, and in the future, it's going to hopefully get beefed up quite a bit.
I'm looking forward to that road trip to Alamosa, though.
Right. Coach, the perfect world is to win all of the games, but obviously you still have to take a look at your team and look at various combinations. So you put your starting 5 out there, not necessarily your starting 5, maybe 2-3 weeks from now, but is it going to be a situation, I think of old late coach from Utah, Rick Majerus, where I remember being down on the floor at UW where he would put in 4 guys. So is it going to be a situation where you're starting 5 and, here, and I'm talking in the early get-go, and then maybe you're going to, sit down that 5 and put in another 5 to get different looks. What is the philosophy here early in the season?
Well, that's definitely the mentality we took to our scrimmage season. We tried some different things, obviously for publicity and getting our girls, again, reps in front of Division I and Division II coaches. We tried to always start them. And then again, we would kind of play off of different combinations. So whether it was 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen or 4 sophomores and a freshman, we tried some different lineups. And again, as we get closer to the season, that's now where we're going to have to go with the combinations that have been working the best. And those that maybe are having issues with matching up in transition and little things that I've got to see them pick up on. Their minutes will increase as they get more comfortable with what we're doing. But it's very fluid right now. If we don't come out with 5 sophomores, I think there's 2 or 3 others that could potentially start for us, which is, I think, a good problem to have. And that's also factoring in 1 or 2 injuries that are kind of setting us back. So, again, it's good to have those options, but I think, again, we're getting close to kind of having an idea of what our rotation is going to look like and who's going to start. Veterans
that we have coming back that you are very high on. And again, you're high on everybody in your team, but, the veterans and some of the newcomers to keep an eye on.
I think based on the feedback, we've gotten a lot of feedback on Gabby O'Connor. Again, somebody you guys didn't get a chance to see much out of last year because of her injury. Probably got to see her just in pregame warm-ups. But she's done a nice job of setting the tone for us in practice. Courtney Walker being back is another veteran in our lineup, and again, pushing for good time and doing a great job. And then again, we've got Carly O'Brien, another starter for us last year, doing a good job. And then our two other sophomores that, again, maybe didn't get the minutes last year. Kylie's done a pretty good, a nice job of kind of growing into that role as a 5. And then Jessica Stoner, too, off the bench as a sophomore. Had limited minutes last year, but again, she's done a better job of being more aggressive, just playing that kind of more aggressor on the offensive side of things.
And you're referring to Kylie Milan, right?
Yeah, Kylie Milan. Yep.
All right, so some of the newcomers?
Some of the newcomers, again, it's 8 freshmen, so a lot of new faces. We had one go down with an Achilles tear, so probably her season. And then again, we had a rebounding drill that we were doing, and girl go up for a rebound with one hand, and sure enough, jams a finger and turns into a bone fracture. So just kind of some fluky things happening, but the other 6 that are healthy are showing a lot of good things. And, some of our girls from Texas, Jakia Wells, again, probably going to factor into a lot of minutes off the bench for us. Strong rebounder, good slasher. Again, good defender, showing a lot of positive things. And Haley Anderson, kind of playing with a little bit of a bum ankle right now, but when she's healthy, probably one of the most explosive players that we have, and a very, very talented shooter. That, again, somebody that can give us minutes off the bench. So, again, I could tell you something about every freshman that we have, and it's exciting to know that we have a lot of different players off our bench that we can work in.
All righty, Coach. Well, we are looking forward, both the old guy, the AARP guy, and Junior.
Yeah.
We'll be out there quite a bit with the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles, again, both at home and on the road. We wish you all the best. As soon as high school football is over, we'll be...
It's already here. Regular season starting up tomorrow for LCCC. Again, both women and men. They will be up at the Sheridan Classic competing. Again, women starting at 1 o'clock, and then I do believe at least the men will be starting up at 7 o'clock on Friday. So, again, regular season basketball, it is finally here, at least for our first contest as well. I don't think we see the women for quite some time, but we will, because, again, we'll be busy with high school football. But, again, we will see the men coming up on the 6th. So, but again, all broadcasts, everything, and also to the visual side as Periscope and YouTube, again, here on 1480 KRAE.
Speaking of guys, we will chat next with LCCC men's basketball coach Jason Ficca. We want to thank LCCC women's Lady Golden Eagles head coach Brian Ortmeier joining us on our show here today, our LCCC Coaches Show. Let's take a time out, and we'll bring in, he's on deck, Jason Ficca after these words right here on 1480 KRAE. RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Roger's already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Roger's RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
The next time you have a craving for authentic Mexican cuisine, visit Hacienda Guadalajara at 317 East Lincoln Way. Locally owned and operated, they serve their dishes with family tried and true recipes, with the freshest of ingredients, made to order. Start off your meal with their complimentary chips, salsa, and bean dip. And if you're feeling adventurous, enjoy your favorite margarita or cerveza. Hacienda Guadalajara, where the spice is always nice.
The 2018 Kia Stinger can be your dream vehicle come to life. I'm AJ Miller, and we have the impressive 2018 Kia Stinger here at Kia of Cheyenne. The Kia Stinger comes with choice of 2 turbocharged engines, giving the Stinger strong performance at a budget-friendly price. This car is tough to beat with numerous standard features and comparably priced lower than other vehicles in its class. You need to come to Kia of Cheyenne and drive the Stinger today. Call us at 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It is now the second half of our LCCC Coaches Show, and it's time for the men's program to be represented by head coach Jason Ficca. Back at it again, another season coach. Same thing like I was talking with Brian here just a little while ago. The one thing about basketball coaching, yeah, we may be starting the season, but recruiting goes all year round, and I'm sure you're always keeping an eye out, and folks that are helping you along the way are keeping an eye out for potential talent to come out here to Cheyenne.
Well, first off, let me say it's great to be back again this season. And in the promo there, I heard the lead-in promo, taking Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to the next level. I am honored to be part of taking it to the next level. I've never been, I think, anybody considered, hey, that guy really takes it to the next level. So
I think you've taken at least LCCC basketball to the next level. I mean, we talked about this entire week and kind of intro into this season. I mean, looking even
don't forget my question now.
Well, I'm just saying, but I mean, from last season, our first time at least with LCCC, right, at least broadcasting, being a part of this partnership with LCCC Athletics. I mean, look at all the talent, though, that you had just of that last season moving on, whether it was Landon Talaferro moving on to Fairfield. We have Solomon Ilamati moving on to Maine University. We have
Zaire.
Zaire with Northern Illinois. You have Elijah moving down to Pueblo. I mean, they all moved on to bigger and better things after LCCC. I think, talking about taking it to the next level, I think you've done that years ago. You've already brought LCCC on the map.
Yeah, and again, the education part is most important too. That you're first and foremost a coach, but also making sure that these student athletes continue on with their education.
Definitely, that's. I tell everybody, basketball is maybe 10% of my job. Most of my job is academic mentoring, life coach, parenting. There's a little parenting in there. Hopefully not too much babysitting. Hopefully definitely not a whole lot of police work. We don't want to get into that. But to go back to your original question about recruiting, yes, recruiting is an constantly ongoing process. And a year ago, when the signing date for junior college for the NJCA used to be April 8, I think. A year ago, the NJCA moved the signing date for all sports, I think, back to November 1. So today is actually the first official day of the NJCA signing period. So that kind of changed how we have to go about recruiting. You used to be able to go through the basketball season and not really you could wait until after Christmas and kids were still available, still open. Now you gotta be trying to get them a little bit earlier. So it changed. It changed the calendar for us quite a bit.
And it sounds like you were kind of busy this offseason recruiting out there, out and about. We do know, at least coming to LCCC, at least for basketball this season, we do have one local product from Cheyenne Central. That would be one Willie Jones. But talk to us, Coach, of who else is going to be some new faces joining this team for the season.
A lot of them, and it's going to tax my memory.
I didn't mean to do that to you.
To remember. But, yeah, we have 14 players on the roster. Only 2 returners, so Willie Jones is definitely an important signee for us. And unfortunately, Willie, got an injury. We found out last Friday he's got a stress fracture, and he's out 6 to 8 weeks. So won't have him till probably around the first of the year. But Willie, at times, when his shot was falling, he looked like our best player, and even when his shot wasn't falling, he looked like a really good player. So that's a big hit for us. We've also got. We have the 3 sophomores, the 2 returners, and then we signed a transfer sophomore from Hutchinson Junior College, Anthony Munson. Well, he just had surgery for a stress fracture about 3 weeks ago. So we got those 2 guys out walking around in boots right now. I think Anthony's out of the boot now and walking without it. So we're a little depleted as far as that goes. We hit Denver hard this year. We hadn't really recruited the Denver metro area that much, and I think we signed 4 players from Denver or the Denver metro area. Kyle Cabs, Courtney Dean, Cam Vinsel, and Devin Jones. So that was good for us. That was a good recruiting class out of Denver for us. And then we picked up a couple international guys, a 7-footer, David Appelgren, and Tyrese Potoma from Canada, from Saskatchewan, and Mateo Zovko from Bosnia. So we've got the 5 international guys overall, Willie, and then I think 4 or 5 guys from Colorado. There might be somebody in there I'm forgetting. Oh, and then another point guard from New York, Daquan Spragion, which would be the same contact that we got Zaire Mateen from. So pretty diverse group there.
Let's talk about the 2 sophomores that are coming back. Excuse me, Hayden Collier and Stefan Manzi. And again, Hayden started seeing a lot more time in the latter part of the year. You were leaning on him to spell Kyle in the middle, the now departed Kyle Wright. Stefan, we saw more of him in the beginning of the season. His play kind of tapered off towards the end of the year. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was a little hurt and you were playing him sparingly minutes. But during the offseason, Coach, again, these guys are both string beans. How did they develop their bodies a little bit getting ready for this upcoming season?
Well, Stefan will never be anything but a string bean all of his life. I mean, it's just, I don't think he genetically can ever consider, he'll never be the clinical definition of fat or obese. Or,
I've seen these guys eat. They're lean, they're lanky, and they can put away the food.
He's just got that metabolism, whatever, that gene type that, but both Hayden and Stefan were here all summer and spent time with him. I think Hayden, I don't know if he added a whole lot of weight, maybe a little bit, but I think he got better conditioned, a little harder, a little more cut. So they did a good job. Those guys were in the gym a lot, doing a lot of shooting, and lifted all summer. So it's hard when we have 2 guys here. You'd like to have a few more so you can do some more competitive things, but there's only so much you can do one-on-one. But I thought they did a great job all summer. So we're going to rely on those guys a lot. Hayden Collier is a guy. We're not going to play Hayden as much. We're going to start him as a power forward, or I think the in vogue term's a stretch 4. So he's going to be a perimeter player for us. He's really shooting the ball well in practice. He shot the ball well from the perimeter in our scrimmages. So we're going to count on him to really stretch the defense and shoot the ball a lot for us. We don't have a lot of really reliable 3-point shooting, which is a departure for us. But I think Hayden might end up being percentage-wise our best 3-point shooter this year.
Hitting on that note for you, Coach, again, as you mentioned, departure from that 3-point shooting. Now, we saw it last year as well, too, where, again, you had the nation's top 3-point scorer with Landon Talafero. Again, you were not afraid to shoot from behind the arc. Now saying, at least getting that understanding that it's going to be a little difficult this season. I mean, how much adjusting of the playbook has that done for you coming up this season? I mean, are we altering, just basically starting anew, or is it going to be a little alteration for LCCC this season?
The playbook was deleted. Nowadays,
erase, burn, and
nowadays the playbook is digital on an iPad, so you just hit delete instead of throw it in the trash. But no, we're going with a different style of play. We really looked a lot at at the college level, Marshall. We looked at the D'Antoni style. Which those guys are brothers. The Houston Rockets head coach and the Marshall University head coach are brothers, so they play somewhat of a similar style. And we looked a lot this summer at what Marshall does. They played in the NCAA tournament last year. They play a 5 perimeter player style of offense with a lot of driving, drive, draw, and kick. So we decided to go that way, and even David Appelgren on a 7-footer, he'll start largely on the perimeter. Now certainly we'll move guys into the post and move them out, but rather than start every possession with a big guy clogging the rim, we're going to be spread out and give hopefully our penetrators room to get to the rim and make plays. So yeah, we threw the playbook out.
We are talking with Jason Ficca, head coach of the LCCC Golden Eagles. It is our LCCC Coaches Show here on 1480 KRAE. Take a time out. Oh, by the way, our program is being brought to you by LCCC.
Wait for it. Beginning in April, you can tour downtown Cheyenne, compliments of Rock on Wheels and the DDA. Bright yellow bikes marked Re-Ride will be placed in 7 different bike racks strategically placed through the downtown area. Hop on a bike and head towards your destination and drop it off at one of the racks. The DDA and Rock on Wheels want tourists and residents alike to travel the downtown area with ease and with a whole new perspective. Get ready to ride with the new Re-Ride program in historic downtown Cheyenne.
Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but not necessarily in that order. You decide where you're going and how you'll get there. An unwritten experience awaits. Be bold, be prepared, be inspired. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Visit lccc.wi.edu to start your story today.
For 56 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
All right, good half of football, boys. Now, good is good, but we can always be better. Look at Taco John's. They took those tasty little potato lays and loaded them up with bacon and ranch and all kinds of good stuff. They made something good even better.
Taco John's new loaded potato olays are loaded with craveable toppings for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even dessert.
So olay the day, boys, and play like you're making loaded potato lays.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 49 and winds out the northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 29 and winds out the north at 10 to 20. On Friday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 57. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of rain showers with lows around 33.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Jason Ficca, our special guest host, our guest on our coaches show. Coach, you know, you mentioned right before the break, and again, it threw a lot of things in my mind about the penetration aspect of your point guards. They definitely got to get inside. And I think of what Zaire did and Deshaun did last year. I mean, these guys were great, and the explosiveness that they had down the lane where they could drop it off or go all the way to the hole or stop pop from anywhere in the building. I mean, this is how good these guys were. The talent level that you have this year as they are getting ready to hit the floor, are we looking at some type of similarities speed-wise down the lane where they're able to drop a dish off, take it all the way to the hole? What are we looking at this year? And again, I also look at when I was thinking of Hayden Collier, he would be that drop-off guy where you could have him put it in the easy slam dunk, so to speak.
Yeah, we as a coaching staff, we kind of remind ourselves all the time we're a year late to the party. The offense we're running now would have been perfect for last year's team with the 2-point guards and their skill sets and the shooters. So we're slow, but we're getting there. Yeah, I think that there's Daquan Spragion has definitely got a lot of Zaire Mateen's qualities in the open floor and the speed. He's very slight. I think we have him listed at 135. He actually weighed in at 131. Be 6 foot, so he's a little dude, but he can go. I can't imagine being 131 pounds. how wonderful that would be.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't get blown away.
I think I got a thigh that's 131 pounds now.
He keeps. He said, Coach, I weigh 135 now. So can we round up and put it at 140 on the roster? And I'm like, it was like Daquan.
It's going to be intimidating.
140 doesn't really look a whole lot better than 135. But anyways, Tyrese Potoma is he's I wouldn't say he's in the mold of either point guard last year, but he's in the mold of some previous point guards we've had. He's a good floor general, very good vision. He was a really good pickup for us, and very solid. We'll start Tyrese at the point guard, but we named both point guards, both freshmen. We made both of those guys our captains. So Daquan, I mean, I could see them both playing nearly equal minutes. They're the differences in as far as who's better, and one guy's faster in the open court, one guy's better vision in the half court, and you could pick criteria and it would be like 50-50 down the line. So we feel pretty good about those two guys at the point, but they're freshmen, and that's the biggest thing. I think the ceiling is very high on this team, but when we get there, we're not there yet. It might take us a half a dozen games. It might take us might not be till after Christmas. We don't generally, when you go through the calendar of a season, we really try to be our best in January and February. And as a coaches, and that's when we'll have all of our playbook in. We don't have a third of our playbook in yet. So by design, me as a coach, I don't really expect us to be there till January, February. Now this group is a lot of freshmen and a couple of sophomores that played sporadically last year. That's definitely, I think, going to be the case. The learning curve is just stretched out. But what this team does better, they compete harder in practice than I think any team we've had of the 12 teams now I've coached here. I mean, they go at each other pretty hard. The problem is what we've seen when we go to the scrimmages and play somebody else is we're not doing to other people what we do to ourselves. When we see somebody of a different jersey, we have matched their level of intensity or their level of effort instead of do what we do against each other on a fairly regular basis in practice. We go at each other pretty hard. And we've really put an emphasis on that. We want our calling card to be, after you play Laramie County, they're going to be great on transition. You're really going to have to get back to defend them. 2, their transition defense is immaculate. And 3, they're really good against dribble penetration. I mean, that's the 3 things that we really want to be good at.
With the 2 injuries that you have right now, how far behind the quote learning curve are those 2 young men going to be when they get the okay to come back, or are they insertable right away, Coach?
Well, Willie, we just found out about his injury, I think, last Friday. So, he has now Anthony. That was maybe 1st of October or late September. So Anthony hasn't had any really coaching so far, but he is a sophomore. He did spend a year in college at Hutchinson last year, and they went to the national tournament. Were really good. So he's had coaching at the college level. So he can catch up quicker, but Willie's gotten some of it already. So they're both going to take a little time.
And this year, we move all of our Region 9 here to the north, and again, it's a different look than. And I don't say it's a different look. We play those teams, but this time now it's for the conference. So again, to me, I thought you went through a really tough South last year, and not saying that the North is the weaker of the division, but this is a good move for LCCC being in the North this season.
I think so. I was the main driving force behind us moving to the North. It just didn't make sense that us in Eastern Wyoming would be separate and be in a different conference than the rest of Wyoming. Yes, we're all in the same region, but when the 2 Montana schools moved out, Miles and Little Bighorn, something had to change, because we had 9 in the South and 6 in the North. Well, it's a no-brainer. move Laramie County, Eastern Wyoming to the north, rejoin them with the rest of the other 6 programs in Wyoming, and then you've got a balance of 8 and 7. So it was a no-brainer in my mind, and there was actually other discussions about moving other teams or what we were going to do, but I pushed pretty hard for it. And it made sense because that's the way every other sport we have is. Volleyball, the north is all Wyoming. Soccer, the north is all Wyoming. So basketball was the only sport where we were disconnected from the rest of the state as far as conference play goes.
Well, at least we're keeping consistent. But for the men as well as the women, again, as they are now part of the Region 9 North, we'll still see some southern, at least, teams, whether it is Trinidad State, Otero, especially Otero, you will see coming up this Saturday as both men and women, as I mentioned at least earlier with Brian Ortmeier, men as well, too, will be up at the Sheridan Classic, getting underway tomorrow. Women up first at 1 o'clock. Men will go up at second. For the men, coming up Friday, Wyoming All-Stars, 3 o'clock there at Sheridan. And then Saturday's contest again against Otero at 3 o'clock as well, too.
Tis that time of year again, Coach. All ready to rock and roll?
Yes, we are.
All right, we're ready to rock and roll. I do believe we catch up with them.
First game,
Sterling.
November 6th.
Boy, the last time I was in Sterling, all I remember, it was raining threes there, wasn't it? That Landon Califerro.
That's right. Yeah, we were.
The
hot.
Sterling fans were actually cheering for NG for LCCC in that one. That was a good game.
Yeah.
All right, looking forward to catching up with you next week. And hoops on 1480 KRAE with LCCC.
Next Tuesday.
All righty. Well, we got to wrap things up here. We want to remind everybody our last night for our Golden Age of Radio Theater from 8 until 10. Don't forget high school football, you and me, tomorrow. We'll be at Casper, Natrona, 5:30 pregame show, kickoff 6 p.m. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh, on our Golden Age.
Golden Age.
Golden Age, we got Sherlock Holmes times 2, and then we got Suspense Theater from 9 until 10. So, before we hit to the